Welcome to episode 21. I am Danielle Amos, and you are listening to the Prosperity Practice podcast, the podcast that helps you meet your unlimited potential. So, today I want to talk about, living from the inside out. I want to talk about how to really stay in control despite what's going on. And I would love to talk to you about really where true security comes from. A lot of times we think that security comes from the outside, like what we have in our bank account or our job. But real, true freedom and security comes from within. And it comes from a place of knowledge and understanding, because that leads to faith, unwavering faith. And right now, with everything going on in the world, it really is about staying in control and mastering one's mindset. Because the truth is, however you perceive, whatever you believe and perceive the present circumstances to be, will be your truth. See, what's going on in the world right now, it is what it is, and it's going on. And so your direct, how can I say this? Your direct experience of this world event is based on your own perception and your beliefs and your mindset. And so really, I created today's podcast, and I'm here for you today because I want you to control the circumstances and not be a plaything for what's going on. And really, that's going to take you mastering your mindset and understanding a few things about the laws so that you can live in harmony with them. Now, what's predictable and what's usual, and we can see this with the masses, is that the current state of things, the current events, will lead to how a person thinks. So because of what's happening right now, they will think a certain way. Maybe they'll make different choices because of what's going on. Maybe they'll choose to postpone an investment or investing in themselves, for example. I've had people do that, and I'm like, wow, that is not a good idea. This is exactly when you need to be investing. See, we've got to continue to have money be in circulation. See, that's working in harmony with the laws, because we then understand that the truth that money is just energy and it's unlimited. And so as soon as we start hoarding or saving because of outside, because of times, that tells the universe that you have the belief that there is a limit, which is not in harmony with the laws. And so let's go back to this model. So the masses are seeing what's happening on the outside. And let me tell you, I'll share a story in a moment about my daughter. I noticed she was hot on Monday night, and Tuesday morning we woke up and she had a fever, and her temperature was high, and I knew that that's the way it was. I was taking her temperature and I could see it. And though I was not letting that control my thinking, and it was challenging, I have to admit that my mind went down the rabbit hole of what this could mean. And she knew she wasn't feeling well, and the horror and the fear in her face had me concerned, because I know how powerful the mind is, and the body is just an instrument of the mind. So if she would accept the idea that she was sick based on the fever, then that could have spiraled into a lot of negative things, especially because she's old enough, 9 years old, that she was reading about the symptoms. And so I immediately knew that it was my job as a mom to keep her really, really close and to keep her mind focused on good health, fun things, having positive conversations. And so on Tuesday, I took the entire day off. I cleared my schedule thanks to my amazing assistant. And I spent the day with Eloise, making sure that she was focused on what I wanted, which was good health and all the opportunities and all the fun things, rather than what was in her physical being, right, according to the thermometer. And I had to take my pen to paper and make sure my own thoughts and my vibrations were in a positive space, because I knew that even if I was telling her she was fine, if I didn't truly believe it, she would feel it, because that's what vibration is. So what an amazing lesson for me to actually practice what I teach and stay in control despite your outside circumstances. And let me tell you how strong the mind is. So that was Tuesday all day. Even Wednesday morning, she woke up and she was still at a high fever. She was wavering between 100 and 104 all day Tuesday. Woke up and it was still around 101 on Wednesday. I just took her temperature now and it's 97. So she has recovered really quickly, and she had quite a few other symptoms that I won't go into and it's past. But see, this is the thing. If I didn't have this material, I know where my mind would have went. It would have went to fear, worry, and down the rabbit hole, which would have just compounded the current situation and brought more of what I didn't want to me. I know that because I understand the laws, and I think about how that's happening right now to the masses. And if we think about the masses, so it is what it is out there. And because of what it is in the news, the stock market, the financial situation, that kind of thing, that is causing people to think a certain way. And because they're thinking a certain way, they make decisions based on that thinking. And then that is having them feel a certain way, which is their vibration. And it's not a positive feeling. It would be a negative feeling because they're in lack, limitation, worry, and doubt. And then that feeling is leading to their current results. So it's this cycle of the masses being a total plaything for the universe, because they're literally reacting to what's going on, but they're reacting habitually, and they're reacting because they're so focused on what's outside. I want to give you a new model, which is what I use with my daughter. Instead, so we know what is, okay? What is what is, and our memory will remember that. We don't need to focus on it, because where we put our focus is going to grow. And so then I think about what it is I want, and the world that I want, and the beliefs that I want to have, that my business is growing, that my personal economy is growing, and that I'm in a really great spot. My health is good, and you can build on that. You see where I'm going. And then I hold that image of what I want and the goal per se, and I hold that image in my mind. And as I do that and I concentrate on that, that gives me some thoughts. Right now I start thinking, and I make decisions based on that, what I want, despite what's going on outside. And I think that way, and those thoughts lead to my feelings, and I feel now good and inspired. And then I take action within that, and then that action produces a new result. And then from there I go back to what I want, focus on what I want, and I think again, and it's this new type of cycle, which is really empowering. And when we learn to live this way, we're living from the inside out, meaning I'm living from my heart, from my imagination, like what I want. And I'm no longer a plaything for the universe. And when I do this often enough, I can see how my thinking is creating, my perception is creating my experience. And so that is truth. Whatever your thinking is around the current situation and your perception about the current situation will be your experience of it, because we can only experience our consciousness. Our physical experience is just a reflection of it. And so the beautiful thing is that we learn how to stay in control. We also learn that security comes from within, which is so empowering. It's so empowering because I'm never dependent on anything outside of me. And this is the same for you. And if this resonates and you want to know more, especially now, reach out to me. Join our free Facebook community. It's called Mastering Your Mindset with Danielle. This is the time where you have to master your mindset. I was told yesterday an interesting stat about the depression. And that stat said that, the Great Depression, after the Great Depression, 30% of the population remained the same income-wise. 30% had an improved lifestyle, and 30% were worse off, and 10% were full down and out. So if you think about that, 60% were either the same or better lifestyle after the Great Depression. In this time, there's an opportunity for change. There's an opportunity to go within, like I was saying last week or earlier this week, that there's an opportunity here. And you get to decide, are you one of the 60% whose income remains the same or gets better, lifestyle gets better because you're innovative and you're adapting and you're controlling your thoughts? Or are you going to be a plaything for the universe and what's going on, and as a result, be affected that way? You get to decide. And I'd recommend you decide right here and now and take action. Ask me what you can do. Reach out and ask, what is the best thing for me to do? What's the best course for me to take? I often hear that people don't have enough time to study about the laws. Now you have the time. So reach out, ask me about what's best for you. There's something at all income levels or all budgets. There's something for everyone based on like where your blocks are, whether it's money or confidence, or maybe it's understanding. There's something for you. Now's the time to reach out on Instagram @_Danielle_Amos_. And if this resonates and you want more information, ask. So a few other things, if we understand one of the laws called the law of rhythm, we'll understand that despite what's going on out there, like night still follows day. It has to by law. So the universe, the world, the earth is not being affected. The physical planet is actually balancing itself out. It's still growing. Like when I'm walking out, in nature, I know that spring is coming because I can hear the birds, like all of that still happening. So the law of rhythm states, when the tide goes out, it must come back in. So in this time, when things like this, I'm reminded of my mentor. He said, when things are bad, or when things are, something happens to us personally, and it's not something that we want. And it's like, wow, when something's really bad, it's got to be really good on the other side. And I keep thinking about this, like this is an emotional impact for the planet. Meaning an emotional impact is one of the ways to create a paradigm shift. Imagine if this creates a paradigm shift for the world, and we start taking different actions as humanity around, the way that, I don't know, we communicate with each other. Maybe it's the way environmental. There's so much to learn from the sudden change in our behavior. We've got to learn from it. We've got to notice what the earth is doing with ourselves now staying inside, with human beings being inside. I've told that dolphins are back on the coast of LA. they haven't been there for a long time. And I'm seeing all these beautiful things about how animals are coming out because human beings are inside. It's very interesting. And so on the other side of this is something really, really good, and that's the law of rhythm. But it's important during this time that we stay calm. See, James Allen said the calmness of mind is a jewel of wisdom, and he said that in Serenity. It's important to stay calm and to stay focused on what you want, so that your experience through all of this is that you win. You continue to win. Keep money in circulation. Continue to invest in yourself, especially right now, the best investment you can ever make. Continue to run your business. Continue to think, to be innovative. The world goes on, like whether you do or not. So be one of those that really think in this time and come up with innovative ways to serve and to help humanity. And we are always compensated based on the amount of service we provide. You are always compensated based on the amount of service you provide. And so notice gaps, opportunities, and create a service to help. And the more people you serve, the more money you'll earn. And that's just a law. It's my hope, my intention that this podcast really helps you create or feel the security. During this time, it's important to allow your mind to be consumed with good material. Limit social media, limit the negative news, and focus on what you want. Take the time to really just think and create good connections with your family, strong connections. It's such a gift. In all of this, there's a tremendous gift. So if this resonates and you feel it, my message can help other people, please, please share it. Help me get this out there. Please give me a 5-star review on iTunes, because that means organically more people will find it. This is the message that we need to be listening to. This is the message. This is the material that literally all the great thinkers, the millionaires that became millionaires through the Depression, this is the material they were using. And this is not my opinion. This is fact. You can see it in all the books. This is the material. This is what they knew to create opportunity. They were living in harmony with the laws. They were leveraging their mind to think, and to really think created opportunity for themselves. And that's what I want for you. And I know that's possible. Stay in gratitude, stay in love, be that light, and master your mindset to expect abundance. Well, thank you for listening. If that resonated, like I said, reach out at _Danielle _Amos _ on Instagram. Send me a direct message, share the podcast, tag me. Let's together, one person at a time, make a difference. It starts with you. Thank you for listening. Expect abundance.